for no apparent reason, you get all of these different plugins that do exactly the same thing. What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I want to do an interesting new type of video. I want to start comparing different plugins just because there's always a risk of becoming a plugin hoarder, and for no apparent reason, you get all of these different plugins that do exactly the same thing, and you trick yourself into thinking that, no, this one actually does it a bit differently, this one's better just because it costs more or whatever. So what I want to do in this series is go through a bunch of free and paid plugins and see exactly what they do and if it's worth paying a lot of money for them or if you're better off just using the free ones. We'll just have to wait and see. And in this episode, I want us to touch on stereo imaging. This is an important topic, and especially if you want your pads to sound wide, you might want to throw something there. You can use chorusing, but that causes phasing issues. And that's the main issue I want to address today. As you can see on screen, I have the Voxengo meter just showing us what's happening in terms of phase. And this is a multi-band, which is awesome. And I have it set to 12 bands and the average time maxed out just so we have a clear indication of what's happening phase-wise. And another factor is also what the CPU load is on all of these. So as you can see, I have the performance meter on in Reaper, and I'm just going to go through all of these and see exactly what's happening with the stereo imaging effects that I have here. I have some of the classic ones here. I have the S1 imager from Waves. I have the free ozone imager from iZotope. I have an awesome free plugin made by Alex Hilton called the A1 Stereo Control. And this one's quite interesting because it has a save bass button. So basically it tells everything below 150 hertz in this case, but you can't change it, to go mono, which is extremely useful. We have widener from Infected Mushroom, Shaper Box, and one of its modules is the width control, and this one can do a lot of crazy stuff, including just making the low end mono, which I did here. So we're just gonna basically hear the effect of this in stereo. And the meter here, as you can see, goes to kind of 12 to 13% on its own in terms of CPU use. So keep that in mind when we start adding these to the process. So what I have to work with is this pad. It's just a basic Twin 2 preset, and nothing too drastic is happening. 12 voices, unison on 4, and the spread is at 10%. So there is some spread happening within the patch itself, but not enough. So as you can see, we're pretty good in terms of phasing. The meter is fine. I use this in any mix, but let's see if we just want to make it a bit wider, what happens. So let's start with the S1 imager, and all of these I'm gonna use at 50%. So this one starts at 0 and ends at 3, so I'm gonna use it at 1.5, and let's see what it does. So there is some phasing happening there. It doesn't really do anything to the low end, which is good. If you watch the S1 do its thing on the CPU, it doesn't really do anything. It's probably about 0.02%. So yeah, this overall I think does the job well. Let's see what the ozone imager does. So first of all, this one goes at about 0.16% in terms of CPU use, so quite more than the S1. And there is just a bit more phasing happening all the way through, including in the low end. So take that as you will. Between these two, I'd probably go for the S1. Next one is the free plugin made by Alex Hilton. So let's have a listen to this. This is amazing. This one is actually better at its job even than the S1. It is taking up about 0.20% of CPU use, but there's not that much phasing happening. Let's hear that again. It barely dips, and this is like over 3K. So this is an awesome plugin, and it is free. I am using the save base function, but it's a function of the plugin, so might as well just use it. And you do have expert mode, so you can do a lot of other stuff with it. But yeah, I'm quite surprised with this one. It's awesome. Let's have a listen to the next one, which is Wider by Infected Mushroom. So this one, in terms of CPU use, doesn't really do that much. And phasing-wise, it tends to dip probably a bit more than the Ozone Imager. But the problem I have with this is that the sound, it sounds a bit too chorusy to me. So I probably wouldn't use this. It is a free plugin, so you can try it out, especially if you're going for some chorus effect. Pretty good one. Moving on to the shaper box, the last one that we have here. And as I said, the low end is set to mono, as you can see here, and the rest is at 150%. I love the sound of this, and not that much phasing happening, and the fact that you can have it be a multiband like that also makes it a great tool. And in terms of CPU use, I don't know, like maybe max 0.10%. It's not that bad. And the best thing about this is you can also add another band. So maybe this one, okay, it's a bit too much. You just trim it to 125, and then this one you go even higher than 150. Let's see what that does. Yeah, I love this. There's so many possibilities you can do with it. It's probably my favorite one, even though I do find myself using the S1 quite a lot, even on maybe more so on the master bus, just because it's easy to use. You just push that one, and it does the job. But I might start using this one a bit more, just because you can do a lot with those multi-bands, and there's no phasing happening. It is a bit more intensive on the CPU than the S1. And I also like the this one, the A1 stereo control. It does a tremendous job especially for its price range, that is $0. So I would definitely recommend downloading this one. I wasn't too impressed by the wider or the Ozone Imager. The multiband is way better than this, but it is a free plugin, so what can you do? But overall, if you want to spend some money, I'd probably go for Shaperbox. I don't know what S1 usually goes for. I got it on the Black Friday sale, so I ended up paying. I think it was one of the free plugins I got as part of the Waves Black Friday sale they had last year, but it's probably gonna end up being more expensive than this. Because if you get, I mean, this is Shaperbox 1, but the Cableguys came out with Shaperbox 2, and I think you can get it for like $70 or something, which is a steal because you have a lot of other things to do with this rather than just the width control. So that's 5 of the standard widening tools on the market. 2 of them are paid, 3 are free. Might as well just try all of them, see what you like, what sound you like, because all of these have a slightly different sound. But overall, I think I'd go for Shaperbox, A1, and maybe S1 as well. So let me know in the comments below which one of these is your favorite. Thanks a lot for watching the video until the end. I really do hope you got something out of it. And if you did enjoy it, if you did get any value out of it, please let me know in the comments below. And consider subscribing to the channel, share the video, like it, all that jazz, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks.